According to this article from Windows Central, Microsoft's $146 billion AI spending spree is spooking investors and could lead to its worst quarter since 2008. I think Windows 11 and all the problems with it are the least of their concerns. And this is what the AI wars are all about right now, is, I believe, tricking investors into parting with their money, telling them there's going to be this massive payday if they just, kick over a couple billion more dollars, and eventually we're going to be profitable with this thing. And we're starting to see it collapse. We're seeing OpenAI is struggling right now, and you'd think Microsoft would have it together, and they really don't either. They pivoted everything in the direction of AI. They literally bet the farm on AI, and at least on the consumer level, people hate it. They hate Copilot. They're uninstalling Copilot. Some people are jumping ship to Linux. I would recommend doing both. But investors are even like, what is the plan, right? And we're going to talk about really AI and the limitations of it in this video, because we are going to hit, I believe, a ceiling. I think the people that are saying, oh no, AI is, we're going to hit AGI and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. These are CEOs of companies that have a vested interest in all of this paying off. And I don't know if it's going to pay off in spades the way they think it's going to. Now, disclaimer, I like AI as a tool. I think it's a great tool if you know how to work with it and you know that it has limitations and what those limitations are. These CEOs of these companies, they want to sell investors on there being a magic button, like the easy button from the Staples commercials. You just hit the easy button and everything magically gets done. No, that's not really how it works. In some cases, it's actually easier and cheaper to hire humans to do certain tasks because the AI just does not understand the assignment at all. Now, you put a competent human in a room with an AI and they understand how it works. They talk to each other. They're going to get a lot more done. Maybe, it really is a crapshoot. AI really is a crapshoot at this point. And I think a lot of stocks are going to take a massive hit. We're seeing it right now. The stock market's way down. I think everybody really, truly believed that AI was going to be this magic thing that was going to, make record profits for these companies. They wouldn't have to do anything. They wouldn't have to hire any humans, pesky humans who want days off and want paid leave and benefits. God, benefits, health insurance. Come on, what are you smoking? No, we don't need to do that anymore. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. This is Kneon. This is CLOWNFISH TV, and we've been talking more about tech lately because tech and entertainment are just kind of fusing together, and a lot of people wish that wasn't the case. But I guess it's always been the case. But we're seeing a hastening of adoption of AI tools, a lot of discussion around AI. And I think a lot of investors are getting nervous. They're like, where's this big payday that we were all promised? I don't think they're getting it. I don't think it's coming. Again, this is coming from Windows Central. Microsoft's $146 billion spending spree is spooking investors. Investors are worried about startups like OpenAI and Anthropic replacing Microsoft's core productivity apps. This is why they're trying to pivot everything to AI. Same with Adobe. But you can only do so much, right? And some users just want those, I guess you'd call them legacy apps, legacy operating systems, legacy computers. Microsoft has ramped up its efforts in the generative AI space over the past few years, especially after making its first investment in OpenAI back in 2019. While AI seems like the hot thing in tech right now, it's unclear whether the software giant's deep integration of Copilot across its tech stack is actually paying off. According to Bloomberg, it's suggesting Microsoft could be facing its worst quarter since the 2008 financial crisis if it continues blowing money on AI that isn't meeting investor expectations for returns. Microsoft could blow themselves up. And it's very appropriate, I think, that they're using the 2008 financial crisis as a comparison, because I am really feeling like we've got another one of those incoming. It really feels to me like there's another potential financial crisis on the horizon right now. For context, Microsoft stock fell 25% in Q1 fiscal year 26, putting the company on track for its steepest quarterly loss since the 27% drop in 2008, but isn't budging. Microsoft is doubling down on AI with plans to invest about 146 billion in infrastructure in 2026, which is approximately twice last year's 88 billion. This is going to be a disaster for them. They also are talking to NVIDIA. They want to more or less like 3D print nuclear power plants to power this AI. And this is the thing. You get to a place where it's like, is it worth it? Just because you can do a thing, does it make sense to do that thing for everything? This is kind of like Hollywood when they were over relying on CGI. Like, why do we need CGI when we could just go like shoot in the street, or we could just build a puppet or something? You know what I'm saying? Because we can do it, and it's the new hotness, and it doesn't age very well. And that's going to be the same with AI. We're going to find a place for it. It's not going to be doing everything. And, it's just, even if it can do more, I think the cost of it, it's not going to be worth it. Humans are still cheaper right now. I mean, eventually all of this stuff, the power of the sun in the palm of our hand, we might have that in devices in the future, kind of like cell phones. I mean, what our cell phones can do now is completely unthinkable to somebody 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, especially. And that might be the case with AI too, where we have a cell phone like device or something that can do all of this compute in the palm of our hands without needing these, huge power plants and data centers and all that. But that's decades away, right? Earlier this year, Microsoft announced its financial earnings for fiscal year 26 Q2, reporting 81.3 billion in revenue, which is up 17%, and 38.3 billion in operating income, up 21%. While these numbers might seem impressive, investors have raised concerns about the software giant's spending on data centers and AI infrastructure. And this is, I think, why we're seeing a lot of the changes with Xbox too. I think they're like, yeah, we're going to divert everything to AI, and these consoles need to make more money. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella indicated the company's AI spending is actually paying off, further revealing that Copilot's daily user base has grown nearly 3 times year over year. I don't know. I'm hearing people are uninstalling Copilot in droves. I've taken it off of every Windows machine I have that still runs Windows, and the ones that I could switch to Linux, I did, because I don't think Microsoft is going to get better. Only 3% of Microsoft 365 and Office 365 users who interact with Copilot actually pay for it. So they might be using it, but they're not paying for it. See also ChatGPT. A lot of people are using ChatGPT, but how many people are using, do they have a free tier? I don't know if they have a free tier. But they're not paying very much, and they're not paying enough to offset the cost of these data centers and the compute, right? The tech giant could be setting itself up for failure with its heavy investment in AI as investor interest is waning and they become hesitant to commit funds to Microsoft's exorbitant AI initiatives. Some have openly voiced concerns that AI startups like OpenAI and Anthropic are developing agents that could one day replace established productivity suites like Microsoft 365. Speaking to Bloomberg, Jonathan Kofsky of Janus Henderson suggested rather than paying Microsoft, more customers may choose to go directly to AI vendors. This is what's happening to search too, and it's what's happening to websites. People aren't going to websites to get their news. They're not going to Google to search. They're just using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT gets it wrong. But they're using that to summarize the news, and they're not even bothering going to websites. Is Microsoft playing the long game in AI? Well, Microsoft's exorbitant spending on AI isn't paying off right now. Wall Street analysts are seemingly optimistic the company's strategy will pay off in the long term. They said, I think the stock has a lot of long-term value. Its AI strategy will ultimately be vindicated, and I think it's largely insulated from the biggest AI disruption fears. In the meantime, those concerns are creating an opportunity, especially if you're willing to have some patience. Interestingly, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella recently indicated that AI must prove its worth in the real world, or big tech could lose public support and social permission to burn electricity unless it offers something useful. Right now, the tech giant is seemingly reevaluating its AI strategy, at least in its offerings like Windows 11, because they had that big thing where they said, we're walking it back, whatever. No, I don't think it's paying off for them at all. I don't think it's paying off. I think the plan was to spend, because they're Microsoft. They can spend as much as they want to because they have infinite money, pretty much. and it's not paying off for them. Why would they be tightening the belt in other areas? Why would they be walking back some of the Windows 11, dumbass shit that they've done with it, with Copilot, etc., if it was paying off for them? I don't think it's paying off for them at all. I think we are looking at what could be the wood chipper for Microsoft. Like, look, every empire has its day, and Microsoft has been the undisputed, basically, computers. Microsoft has been computers for most people for decades. And if they continue down this path, I think people are going to look for alternatives. And, as more and more viable alternatives pop up, they're going to jump ship. And there could come a day where most computers not run on Microsoft operating systems. And you've got people like Elon Musk out there saying, well, we're not going to need operating system. Where we're going, there won't be any roads. It's like, again, this is a guy who owns an AI company. So he's going to say shit like that. So I'm going to talk about this tweet from Alex Becker this morning. So this guy is a crypto guy, and he's a multimillionaire. But he said, look, I vibe code every day. I have a team of 30 plus engineers. We spend F tons of credits. And I will tell you this about AI from my experience. It's being wildly overhyped. I have been telling you this for months now. And this is coming from a guy who I use it for different things. I know people jump us for the AI thumbnails, but I use it for a lot more than that. There are a lot of different things that we're doing that we have nothing to do with YouTube or any of that. And yes, it's wildly overhyped. It can be helpful, but more often than not, you will expend more energy trying to fix its fuck ups or fact check it or whatever. It's getting better, but it's not quite there yet. It's great for some things, not so good for others, and it depends on the model you're using and what its speciality is. Everyone's fucking drunk. All the CEOs and Gen Zs saying coding is dead or idiots. And I did a video on that the other day. It was like a week or so ago. Somebody said, don't even bother learning to code because the computer's going to do it. Don't bother learning math because we've got calculators. Yeah, who needs math? He said, please reread this before getting grumpy. I actively vibe code apps to 5,000 plus customers at my software as a service companies, one at 40 million-ish ARR. I built and now maintain 3 to 4 apps, core parts of our business with it. I'm a Turbo Claude code user. I'm not saying it's not useful. I'm saying that despite being incredibly useful, it's also stupid as hell. Here, Alex Becker. He is 100% right. He is 100% right. If you don't work with AI, if you're so terrified of working with AI that you don't use it, you're not going to see this. And these CEOs of these companies are bullshitting people. They are. They're trying to sell people on a magic bullet. Like this will take care of all those pesky employees you don't have to worry about. And if you're a creative or a coder or somebody, and you're worried that AI is going to take your job, AI is only going to make the worst of you redundant, pointless. The good people, we're still going to need them. We're still going to need good creatives. We're going to need good coders. We're going to need good lawyers, doctors. Even if you don't need as many of them, what AI is going to do is basically get rid of people that probably shouldn't be there in the first place, in my opinion. People that were just kind of taking up space, they're the ones that are going to get gone. And this is why we're seeing all these layoffs in these companies right now, in my opinion. Even with extreme guardrails, he says, watching it as a competent junior dev who does whatever it wants and you have to watch it like a hawk. At some point, making code fast is not an advantage. And if you're using Claude Codex to push and review its own code, you're actually insane. LLMs are amazing. CEOs vibesers are also drunk from the models telling them how smart they are 24/7. Yeah, that is true too. You can have the worst idea ever, and the AI isn't going to tell you you're a piece of shit. It's not going to be like, no, you dumbass. Go back to school, then get back to me in like 4 years, and we'll have a conversation. No, it's going to be like, you're the smartest, you're the greatest, you're the only one who's ever thought of that. Great idea. And then you like correct it. At one time I had Grok actually getting into an argument with me, and I told her, I said, this fact is not correct. I need you to check this again. No, 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 it's correct. I'm Grok. I never lie. Elon says I'm the bestest. And I literally sent it like 2 or 3 links. I said, here, dumbass. Oh my God, thank you for correcting me. Oh my God, it's amazing. Didn't say, hey, yeah, maybe I'm not perfect. It was just like, well, this is new information. I'm like, no, actually that information's from like 6 months ago. You just missed it. It's like, jeez. Yeah, so you really have to babysit it, right? Anyone with even a hint of dev experience can crack open the code and see the endless tech debt piling up. It's just a bunch of like flash from plastic, right? It's kind of like that. It's a bunch of garbage code. It's nowhere near where it needs to be to do what people are claiming. And each release, it's only like 10% better. So this is a Moontography here. I like to build things. Moontography says if you're finding yourself or your engineers are at least 5 to 10 times more productive as you were prior to using the latest frontier models to augment your work, then you're not as good as you think you are. Alex Becker says, dude, who the fuck is going to review 10 times more code being produced? Claude? Great, let's ship 1 million lines of junior level functional mystery code to customers with no idea how it works. Yeah, and I think Windows, I think they're doing that. I think Microsoft is doing that. They're letting their AI or OpenAI or somebody vibe code the Windows updates, and they're breaking shit all over the place. This person here, this is another vibe coder. How you doing? 200 followers. Alex Becker has 1.3 million, and I think his net worth, if I looked into it, he's worth about $200 million. And this guy with like 200 followers, like 30 engineers and F tons of credits. Bro, I'm shipping features with 4 AI tools and a coffee budget. Maybe AI isn't overhyped. Maybe you're just incompetent. He says, yes, I'm producing apps and infrastructure for one of my software as a service, which has 5,000 plus customers at 40 million ARR at scale, but I'm incompetent. Can't talk about this. I'm sure what you're doing on your coffee budget is really impressive. Ignore me. This person says, don't you think it will be as good as they are in a year or two? No. I don't think producing millions of lines of slop code no one understands at the company that is constantly changing and overwriting itself will be a smart way to code in 2 years. Yeah, I agree with him. I agree 100%. And I like AI as a tool. I like it. I think people are over-relying on it. I think companies are going all in on it, and it's going to destroy them. It's going to destroy them. Microsoft, I think, might be a litmus test for kind of the rest of the industry. If you take a legacy company like Microsoft, which has been relatively healthy for decades and stable for decades, and run it into the fucking ground because you chased after AI, spending billions and billions and billions of dollars on AI that cannot do what you're promising people can do. This is why you're hearing all this talk now. All of a sudden, Claude's doing all these things by itself. Oh my God, guys, AGI is almost here. The computers are self-aware. Oh my God, guys, they might take us over. Oh my God, guys. Bullshit. Bullshit. You don't work with AI. You're buying into the fear mongering because it makes headlines like the AI is so good, guys. Holy shit. It's almost there. It's almost there. Fucking Elon Musk is doing the same shit on X. Why is he doing that? He's like, I lay awake at night thinking about how we're almost there. We're like a year or two away from AI being able to do everything, and you're not going to need real doctors and real lawyers. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. It's not there. You own an AI company. X is running into the wood chipper. I think I'm going to tell you right now. This is kind of an experiment I was doing. I was posting more on X for about a month. I wanted to see like the monetization, the algorithm, all that shit. I think X is right now. And this is my personal opinion. I think they have a slush fund set aside to pay people out monetization to get people to use it. If you've ever watched the story of Taco Bell, how Taco Bell got started and how it became a franchise, it was a multi-level marketing scam. Basically, the founder of Taco Bell found a guy, to start a franchise, gave him a bunch of money to flash it around to make it look like, oh my God, guys, I made all this money from Taco Bell. Don't you want to be a Taco Bell franchisee? And a bunch of people jumped into the boat because they're like, yeah, this guy's got an expensive car. He's got expensive clothes. Taco Bell's making him rich, man. I want in on that too. Now, Taco Taco Bell did make people rich, back in the day. But, what I'm saying is that's how it got started. I think the same thing is happening with X. I think the same thing is happening with these other companies. Oh my God, guys, look at what this thing can do. And in the case of X, look, we're letting Grok run the algorithm, and look at all this money these people are paying. Post your money on X so more people post over on X so we can get the engagement up, and you can basically pay us to train Grok. But there are some cracks in all of this. I know I've gone from Microsoft to X, but there are some cracks in this because they're panicking over ad revenue. There's some weird shit going on with the money over on the X side of things. I think there was enough money set aside for a couple of years to get X going again. And I think people are using it basically like they use Twitter. I know Elon wants it to be an everything app. I don't see that happening. I don't see Microsoft becoming this magic AI company. And I think AI is going to hit a ceiling. I mean, I think eventually we'll have AI that is significantly more competent, but I think you're smoking, eating, breathing meth. How do you even do meth? I don't do meth. I don't know how you do it, but you're definitely huffing something if you think you're going to create consciousness. If you think you're going to create robots that are just as good as the most skilled professionals, it's not going to happen. And that's what I'm saying to like artists and stuff, creatives, they're so like worried about AI. I'm like, if you're so uncreative that some idiot sitting there just, typing in random shit into Chat GPT can make better work than you can, then you've got to up your game, bro. But if you're actually really good at what you do and you've got the right tools and you've refined those tools and you can babysit it and make corrections, whatever, you can become very powerful. You actually can do a lot more. But you need somebody there to check it. It's not magic. Microsoft is going to see its stock value magically dissipate, I think. This is not good. It's spooking investors. Their worst quarter since 2008. Nobody wants to hear financials in 2008 anymore. But I think just overall, I think we're heading for that again. It's just my opinion. I think AI is a big factor in it. So, I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.